Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I am here to talk about Fullmetal Alchemist, both the anime Brotherhood and the manga, and what an incredible fucking journey. I must say it outright, I think the worst part about Fullmetal Alchemist is that I won't get to experience it again. What a phenomenal show, what phenomenal voice acting. I watched the dub, what phenomenal paneling. I read the manga. This is beautiful, right? And I feel like I should really get into it really quick because something tells me this is going to be a bit of a long video because I have so much to talk about, but I also don't want to make it a long video because I do not have that much time. I'm immediately going to start with what I didn't like about Fullmetal Alchemist because I feel like talking about what I didn't like is going to be much faster than talking about what I did like. The comedy, it just really reminded me of my age, right? And I'm not very fucking old, but the comedy in this really felt out of place for me. A lot of the times the jokes didn't hit for me, and a lot of the times I was just like, you didn't have to be funny in here, it gave me a very off-putting vibe where it was like, oh god. And some of the comedy is actually good, but like 90% of the time it was not it for me. Like, I did not find the comedy amusing. I just thought it was silly, funny anime, haha, which would be fine in other animes, but like maybe not this one, right? And the final villain, and I'm already heading into spoiler territory here, right? But like the final villain, the main villain, I would say, the dwarf in the flask. So those of you who've read or watched it know what I'm talking about. I just didn't find him that fitting to be like the main villain. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I guess, and this is a testament to how good it is, and I'll get into that as well. Like, there were so many other characters who felt way more villainous that he kind of felt underwhelming, if I'm being honest. Like, he just kind of felt like not that he was a bad villain, but considering he was the villain of the entire show, the main antagonist, basically, it just didn't feel like, oh yeah, that it's a big deal. It just kind of felt okay, he could easily not have been the main antagonist and I would have been fine with it. But that's basically like the first 2.5 minutes, all the bad things about Fullmetal Alchemist out. What a fucking goddamn amazing show. Everything else about this manga, this show, was perfect. Can we talk about how incredible of an MC Edward Elric is? Holy shit. What an incredible main character. And that's another thing. This is a shonen anime. I don't even like shonen half the time because it's meant for like a much younger audience. This is not one of them. I don't even know what shonen is anymore. How does it encapsulate so many different type of anime? I don't get it. What an incredible main character. Every single character in this goddamn story is so important. I have not felt this in a long time, where every side character has their moments, they feel important, they contribute something very integral to the story, and it's so beautifully done. No one gets overshadowed. You don't forget about any of the characters except for that one mustache guy, but you can't count them all. But like, the ratio is way bigger in terms of characters who are actually important. Like, and the list could go on, like Mustang, Scar, fucking the teacher. And I thought that was the most surprising. The teacher ends up playing one of the most important roles later on. The god, so many of them, to the point where I'm blacking out right now. Like Armstrong, the Armstrong sister, like all of them feel so essential. And I also love how the story feels so tightly packed and so high quality. Like, there's a lot of callbacks to the early episodes in this whole series. Like, a lot of the things which happened in the very early episodes gets brought back up again and again, and you get it, events actually matter in it. Like, it's not just, oh yeah, this happened and then we kind of forgot about it. Like, it actually matters. I'm specifically referring to Nina, and if you guys haven't watched it, I don't want to spoil. This is one of those things where me not knowing anything about it really made it 10 times better. Like, I legitimately did not know what to expect, and my god, the story really settles with you when you don't know what's about to happen, right? There's also plenty of foreshadowing, which is great, and it also gets into like heavy philosophy, which I really love. This show was so good. I explained it to my mom, and me and my mom sat and talked about the themes of science and God while discussing Full Metal Alchemist. For context, I don't tell my mom everything I watch, I only tell her the really good stuff. I thought it was fitting to explain Full Metal Alchemist to my mother. That's how good it was, right? I'm just saying. And my god, the seven sins are arguably such fucking good villains. All of them: gluttony, pride, lust, greed, envy, all of them. First of all, the way they're. Again, I'm really trying to avoid spoilers here, but like, it's so much irony in the way these sins are presented throughout the series. Vrath is absolutely my favorite. Okay, I have a couple of favorite characters, but like King Bradley is so fucking badass. Holy shit. And like all of the sins are so well portrayed. Pride, I think, was the most menacing. I saw the anime and it wasn't as intimidating. Pride in the manga is actually like creepy. It's fucking phenomenal. And my god, like the seven sins were shown so well. Greed ended up becoming one of the best underdog characters I have ever seen. And the character depth for every character in the show is so phenomenal. Like the character arc of Mustang, of Riza Hawkeye. You got character arc for Greed especially. And I think for me personally, the most fleshed out and the most in-depth character is Alphonse Elric, and I think Alphonse is a phenomenal character. Like from a purely character writing perspective, I think Alphonse is the best written character throughout the entire show. He is so phenomenally written, so incredible. His whole character is so incredible. Like, and again, I'm not even getting into detail about Scar, which I also think is like. So if you ask me who my favorite character is, I would say it's either Scar, Alphonse, or Bradley. Depends on the three. And like if I had to write in order of who has the most depth and the best written characters, I really couldn't order them. I would say it's Alphonse, I would say then it's Scar, and then it's Bradley. There's just so much to them, these three characters in specific. And I'm not saying the other characters don't, by the way. Like I mean, the main character Edward has way more. Hohenheim is, I think, okay, I know I said Scar. Okay, that's another thing. You can't have a single favorite character in this show, and I think that's really commendable. Hohenheim for me hit so hard for some reason. His whole character arc, everything about him just meant so much to me, and it was incredible. And again, Scar, Alphonse, Bradley, Hohenheim, like that's four different characters who I could potentially be like, yeah, they're my favorite because they're just that fucking phenomenal. And yeah, the whole story as well, like just purely thinking about it from a plot perspective, it's a pretty incredible story, I'm not gonna lie. It keeps you engaged, it's very intriguing, it does build up, and it does have one of the most satisfying endings ever. I am so used to being disappointed by endings, and that's the thing, it's not just a good ending, it's a satisfying ending. It makes you feel good when you finish the show. It doesn't, like, there's a void which usually comes when you finish something really good, but this is not one of them. I feel happy that I was able to finish Full Metal Alchemist because it presented itself so beautifully at the end. I understand why it's called the greatest anime of all time. I really do. I'm sure this anime is on the same level of quality or better. Like, I already know that there is. I wouldn't say it's like the best anime I've ever watched. Definitely not the best manga I've ever read. Like, I'm more into mangas anyway, but I understand why it's considered the GOAT. It's phenomenal. If I had to give a rating to the anime or the manga, like both of them are a 9 out of 10, and this is not even me exaggerating or being biased, like objectively speaking, right? And you can watch it for yourself or read it for yourself. They're actually really amazing stories. The anime is phenomenal, 9 out of 10, and obviously the reason the anime is phenomenal is because it stuck true to its source material. And if the source material is a 9 out of 10, you can't really stray from that path, right? I think Fullmetal Alchemist is one of those things which remind me why I love reading manga and why anime is such a fun thing for me, because I don't do it very often, and it's so It's so fun, it's so fulfilling when I get to watch good anime, when I get to read good manga, and this is one of them. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye.